I didn't expect my routine checkup to be anything other than routine. The nurse practitioner was examining me, and we were laughing and joking about getting older, when all of a sudden she got to my abdomen, and all the blood drained out of her face, and she said, "You have a huge mass." She said, "Didn't you feel that?" I said, "Well, I knew that it didn't matter what I did, I couldn't get rid of my stomach. But I thought it was just weight I'd gained from menopause." She said, "That's not fat." She said, "That is a mass." I said, "Well, you better check back here because I can't get rid of that either." She immediately sent me for an ultrasound and a sonogram, which didn't tell us anything new, just that it was indeed huge. They thought it might be attached to the right ovary, but couldn't be sure. She then ordered a CT scan and a CA-125 blood test. CA-125 measures inflammation in the body, and it can be a marker for ovarian cancer. This, of course, happens on a Friday afternoon, so I couldn't get the CAT scan or the results from the blood test back until the following week. I had a show the next night in Hickory, North Carolina, and the last thing I was going to do was sit at home and worry, so I got in my car and I headed to Hickory. And driving up there, my mind was racing, and apparently so was my car, because I was pulled over for speeding. And the officer said I was going 70 in a 55. I said, "Sir, I'm really sorry, but I need a break. I just found out that I have a tumor the size of your head." His eyes got big, and I said, "I'm not kidding. It's huge." I said, "I don't mean to imply that your head is huge. I mean, it's perfect for a head, but to be growing in my abdomen, not so good." He goes, "I'll just give you a warning." I said, "I think that would be best." My college roommate was the nurse anesthetist who put me to sleep. And I suddenly became extremely grateful that while I was goofing off in college, she was studying. And I asked her, I said, "Is it hard putting people to sleep?" And she said, "Oh, no." She said, "It's easy." I said, "Waking you up, there's the hard part." But it was great having her there because she later gave me a play-by-play of how it all went down. She said she'd given me enough anesthesia for a 4-hour surgery, because that's what my doctor anticipated, and that he diagrammed me from breastbone to pelvic bone and across. But when he made that first vertical cut, my right ovary came flying out the size of a cantaloupe, and then my left ovary popped out the size of a grapefruit. Turns out my muffin top was a fruit salad. I started chemo 4 weeks after my surgery, and people would comment during my treatment that I was battling cancer, and I said, "Oh no, my doctor took the cancer. I'm battling chemo, and it is not for sissies." In fact, I sent a letter to the head of Homeland Security. It said, "The next time you're interrogating a terrorist, forget waterboarding, give him around to chemo. Check on him in about 3 days. He'll take you to his leader." But I had one treatment every 3 weeks, and days 3 through 10 were always the hardest. And on the days when I felt my worst, my friend Christy would put on Kelly Clarkson, "What Doesn't Kill You Makes You Stronger," and we would get up and we would dance. Now, when I say I danced, I mean that I shuffled around the room. I certainly don't want to give the impression that I twerked my way through chemo. Or that I was hooked to the IV going, "Watch me drip, watch me nay-nay, watch me drip, drip, watch me nay-nay." Didn't have that in me. But just hearing that music and getting up and moving what little I could, it always made me feel better. And I learned that even when your body is weak, your spirit can be strong. And it made those difficult days just a little more manageable.